Bam! Some people in the building. I had to go get some water. First of all, let me do an audio check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What's up, Wonder? D Wood, Denise. I saw Big James earlier. Latoya, Markeisha. What's up? Will, can y'all hear me okay? I don't like to talk to myself. Tracy, Nick, does got you mean I'm good on the audio? Miss Veronica, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. It's been a crazy week. Yes, you can hear me. Okay, check this out. Let me say this. I got some good stuff for you. I just done an amazing leadership meeting. Absolutely amazing with some leaders here in Atlanta, Georgia. And it just hit me that I want to continue a point that I left off at that meeting. So I'm doing this because some people that were at the meeting are not going to get a chance to hear it because I messed up and forgot about it. So I feel guilty. But at the same time, if you weren't part of that meeting, I can share with you some things that were shared at that meeting regarding your finances. Now, I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper. This video is not going to be long, but it's going to be very, very impactful. Does that work? Yeah. It's going to have a huge impact. What's up, Beane? I see you guys, man. I see you. I appreciate it. Now, let me say this, because this is important. There's a reason this train is behind me in my office. I want you guys to understand this. Well, first of all, if I've never had the pleasure of meeting you, I'm sorry. My name is Beane. I'm the owner of a training company called Mentor to Millions. And that's basically where we teach you two things: how to shift your mindset first and how to shift your income second. Right? Our motto or our mantra in Mentor to Millions is there's no longer a secret to success. So everybody thinks there's some kind of secret when it comes to money. Everybody thinks there's some kind of secret when it comes to wealth. Everybody thinks there's some kind of secret. Really, the secret to success lies in your daily routine. But that's not what this training is about. Let me tell you what this training is about. This training is about, until you understand this one concept that I am about to teach you, you will never get where you want to be financially without grasping this. I'm telling you. And this is a continuation from a meeting that I literally just left and feel so bad that I didn't share it. So guess what? I'm sharing it with you guys tonight. And I'll share this with them later. I want you guys to get this because 2019 is upon us. And everybody always talks about they want to improve their finances. And everybody always talks about they want to lose weight. But they never really do anything with the mindset that got you where you are in the first place. Here's what I want you guys to write down. Go ahead and share because it's going to be good for your following. Here's some things I want you to write down. You are where you are because of who you have been. Now that sounds natural, right? You are where you are because of who you've been. Now, what exactly, Brian, does that mean? That we didn't get online and listen to you tell us something we already know. Well, the truth of the matter is that's a little deeper than people want to give credit for. In other words, if you've been told your whole life, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, 11, 12, senior, graduate, start over again, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, undergrad, get your master's, that's undergrad, college, graduate again, get your master's, and some people go all the way up to PhD or specialized skills. If you've been taught your entire life to go get a job and steer toward a W-2 or go get a job and work for somebody else, you never really had an opportunity to understand money and what money actually represents. Because very few people sit down and tell you exactly what money represents. What they do is they teach you different traditions and different statements that are actually the exact opposite of what money represents. You always hear things, and until you get this mindset in 2019, your finances are not going to change because you are where you are because of who you have been. Now, until you get this, you can budget all you want. You can plan all you want. You can cut all the expenses you want. You can get every Acorn app, every savings app, open up a million savings account. You can go all the way back to what I did when I was broke. You can get jars if you want to. Until you get this, your financial situation won't change. Now, you know what this is? This is what this is. The rules of the game are changing. What I mean by that is because of technology, because of the internet, because of the world is getting smaller, your access to information is coming at you so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? You're caught up right now in the best of times and the worst of times. We have people who work hard for the federal government right now that are not receiving a paycheck. That's like the worst of times. What are we arguing about where it affects good, hard-working people that aren't going to get a paycheck because a few people have egos? Really one person, but for the sake of fairness, a few people have egos. What are we arguing about? You're living in the best of times and the worst of times. Now, when it comes to money, here's why you're living in the best of times. Because you now have access to information such as this from people like myself who've made money, lost a whole bunch of money, and because of this, got it all back. Why? Because you got access to information now. I want you to write this down before I tell you what this is. I want you to write down, I now have access to information that will, no, I want you to reframe it. I am taking advantage of access to information that will change my financial future. I want you to write that down. Affirm it. I am taking advantage of information and access that will change my financial situation. That's what I want you to write down. Now, let me start tonight by giving you an inside look at what's happening to you and what they are not teaching you first through K through 12, freshman through senior, master's and PhD. Here's what they're not teaching you. This country and the industrial age, that's why this picture's behind me. It's not here for that, but in my office, you'll see I'm into a lot of different things, right? I'm into old school classic cars. I love them way better than new cars. I just love classic cars. I'm into modes of transportation. Like in my theater upstairs, I got an airplane. You know what I mean? Down here, I got a train. I'm just into modes of transportation. I don't know why. But this country, as far as the industrial age or the industrial revolution, kicked off when Vanderbilt decided to monetize the railroads. Now, I'm not going to go into that tonight. I'm just giving you, I'm warming this up for you because I'm not going to be here long. So Vanderbilt decides, you know what? We can now ship things because of advancements and at that time, technology. We can now ship things from this coast all the way to this coast if we expand these railroads. Well, guess what? Guess what the trains actually need in order to function? They need oil. So guess what? Another tycoon emerged known as the Rockefeller family, and they basically dominated or monopolized the oil business. So now we got $2 billion families. I'm going somewhere. You got $2 billion families. You got the Vanderbilts with the trains, and you got the Rockefellers with the oil. Now, trains have to be laid on these things called what? Called tracks. And these tracks are made of what? Steel. So Andrew Carnegie, he decides he's going to monopolize the steel industry. So now another $1 billion family is created. Another $1 billion family is born. Carnegie, Vanderbilt, Rockefeller. Now, guess what? Somebody has to finance all these operations. Why? Well, because now that we have the oil refineries, and now that we have the trains that can go and expand now way further than we ever had before, we can transport goods and services. That creates jobs, and now we have the oil necessary to keep the train going. Not that these trains run on oil, but you know what I mean? That's a major part of it. So now, with the growth of an expansion of the trains comes different industries. Well, somebody's got to finance that. Lo and behold, J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan is the banker who finances the industrial age. I'm going somewhere. This is about your money, not theirs. So with the advent of the train comes different industries all up and down this great land called America. Now, what's happening here? Well, subdivisions are now being created because another and final tycoon came out with the Model T. Henry Ford did not invent the automobile. He made the automobile affordable. So now Henry Ford says, look, we can develop these assembly lines that make these cars way more affordable, because if people keep getting these cars customized, then the prices will stay high, and we want the American public to be able to drive anywhere they want to go, not just the elite. Prior to that, you had horse, buggy, and the elite. Now, billionaire number 5 is created. So Vanderbilt trains, Rockefeller oil, J.P. Morgan finances it, Carnegie steel, and Ford automobiles. Brian, what the hell are you talking about tonight? I'm talking about one word. They're all capitalists. Now, until you get this mentality, and I don't mean a capitalist mentality, I mean an ownership posture. I want you to write that down. This is what I forgot to tell the team tonight, so y'all can share this if you were at my meeting tonight. But I'm not talking about a capitalist mentality, because that has a negative connotation. I'm talking about an ownership posture. Put that in the comments. The rules of this game in this country are as follows. If you don't learn them, you will always suffer financially. And what we do is pull back the curtain so you can learn the rules. If you don't learn them, you will always suffer financially. Let me give you an example. Put this in your notes if you're taking notes, and put this in the comments. I will no longer be held pinpoint. Now, what does that mean? I want you to write this in your notes. I will no longer be held pinpoint. Like an ink pen. Stop letting people hold you pinpoint. Stop letting people hold our people pinpoint. Now, what do I mean by pinpoint? Well, if I said I will no longer be held gunpoint, that you know exactly what that means, right? People are robbing the bank, or people are robbing an armored car, or people are robbing somebody. I will no longer be held gunpoint. But do you know, until you get this, you'll never win financially. Do you know every day millions of Americans are held pinpoint? Because you were taught that if someone robs you with a gun, they go to jail. But if someone robs you with an ink pen, it's okay. That's what you were taught. In your notes, in the comments, type, no longer will I be robbed. The robbery stops this year for you. No longer will I be robbed. It wasn't until I developed that mentality that my financial situation changed. Now, let me explain to you what I mean. Let me explain to you what I mean. And I'm talking about this all week for the next 4 days starting tomorrow. But I'm giving you a preemptive strike. Because this country was set up on a tax-based for a tax-based system and a tax-based society. You immediately were taught to overpay your taxes. Now, let me get you to understand this, so you can understand why you got to posture yourself like Vanderbilt, why you got to posture yourself like Ford and Rockefeller. I'm going to the early industrial age people that they give all the credit to. What was my point? Oh, so if you start thinking like I'm about to tell you, you too can have those results, whatever that means for you. Here's how. Because taxes are now being used for something that they were not originally intended for, you now overpay them. So 90 seconds or less, here's what happens. America goes to the people and says to the people, after the Great Depression, we really would appreciate it if everybody would chip in and pay some extra tax dollars. You know what happened? Everybody in the country said, you know what? Hey, for this thing to turn around, for everybody to get back on their feet, we, the people of America, we built this country, we have no problem chipping in extra. So taxes went up, and it was a loan to the government, just a loan, temporary, that the people were supposed to get back and see a report or a return on their money. It's called a tax return. They flipped it now where you keep paying taxes and get a tax return back to you, and you got to tell them what you did with the money. Man, this thing is this is rough. Let me say that again. It started with, hey, government, did you put in the streets? Check. Did you put in the lights that you said you would put in? Check. Did we reestablish some communities that were hurt during the Great Depression? Check. Okay, give us a checklist, because we gave you the money in the form of higher taxes. Give us a checklist of all the things that you did with our money. So the return was supposed to come from them to us. Here's what we did. Here's where your money went. Here's how it's going. Hey guys, we love you. We appreciate you. You're the citizens of this great nation. Do you know when they started seeing all those tax returns come in and what it looked like, somebody said, shoot, we need to keep this thing going. So before you guys send another payment to good old Uncle Sam, you tell us how much you make. You tell us how much you spent. You tell us if you own a business or if you're an employee. You tell us if you earned any capital gains or dividends. You tell us what you now own, so we can tell you how much you're supposed to give. Boy, they flipped it. Now look, this is not gonna be long tonight. I just want you to get this, because I felt so guilty tonight by not sharing this earlier. I want you to get this. How in the world did a loan to y'all, the government, become now we owe you, so you can tell us how much to give? Boy, let me tell you something. That's rough. That's rough. So it started off with, we gonna help you get out of this 1930 situation we find ourselves in. And it ended up, y'all gonna keep helping us. And in fact, we gonna tell you how much to give us so you can keep helping us. And that's, now all of a sudden you got a tax return. Then they give you a tax refund. Boy, it's rough out here. So now Americans are now going, I need my tax refund. I need my tax refund. I'm going to show you all week long on the webinar series. The link is in the comments. On the webinar series, how they tricked you into the tax refund and how you really need your money up front. But they tricked you into thinking you need a tax refund. And they tricked you into thinking you owe them your receipts. You owe them your reports. You owe them your Schedule C and your Schedule A and how much you made in your 401k and your 501c and your Form 1099 and your Form 1040, and you give them your whole life so they can tell you how much to pay. And that's not how this thing started. So let me put it to you this way. Brian, why did you go over all of that before we go? Let me put it to you this way. You will no longer get robbed at ink point. No, at pen point. Okay? Because taxes come out of most Americans' checks first, and because they funneled you into a system and mindset that a job and work is all you have, because the industrial age, and to this day, Henry Ford, who I mentioned earlier, Henry Ford's 9 to 5 successful assembly line was modeled by every Fortune 500 company because of the billions he made. They said, shoot, whatever he's doing, we need to do. We need to put a 9 to 5 schedule together like Henry Ford did, because with the advent of his automobile, we got subdivisions. With subdivisions, we got houses. With houses, people working, they got roofs. They need nails, they need carpet, they need floors, they need blinds, they need sofas, they need refrigerators, they need ovens, they need lights, they need light fixtures. See, when Ford made the automobile possible for everybody, everybody then modeled what he did. Hence, today's 9 to 5. So let's get it together now. Because the taxes take the check or a chunk off the top of your check, you got robbed once. Started way back before 2019, 2010, before 1960, started way back before that. You got robbed once. Because the taxes came off of your check, you had to get a credit card to make up. You had to get a student loan to make up for the lack of cash flow. You had to get a car note to make up for the fact that you couldn't go in with cash. You had to get a mortgage to make up for the fact that you couldn't put down a bigger down payment. So car note, credit card, student loan, and mortgage, the banks robbed you again with an ink pen. So we got robbed, not in an angry way. I'm just yelling because I feel like y'all far away from me. But you got robbed. No, that ain't quotes. You got robbed with the taxes. Then because of the taxes, government, banks robbed you again. Now, because most Americans don't have enough cash flow not to sustain without credit cards, because most Americans don't have enough cash flow to get a car without a car note, because most Americans don't have enough cash flow to finance our children's education, we got to get in student loan debt. The child comes out of school behind financially. So now what happens? The credit gets messed up. But wait a minute, when the credit gets messed up, interest rates get higher. And because interest rates get higher, you pay for things 3 and 4 times. You got robbed again with an ink pen. You got pen jacked. You got ink robbed. You understand? You got pencil whipped instead of pistol whipped. You got pencil whipped because they robbed you again. Now, because interest rates are high, you're paying for things 2 and 3 times, taxes are high, so you need more credit cards, you need more loans from the bank, you've been robbed 3 or 4 times. Now what do? Buy here, pay here. Now what do? Rent to own. Now what do to our community? Title pawn. Now what do to our community? What you call those things? Title max and title pawn, rent to own, all those things. Rent a center. Now you got rent a center. So in every community that's low and impoverished, because they robbed us, they rob you again, because now the only way to get out of it is to have you thinking you need them. Yeah, I need this title max, man. I need some extra money. So here's my title. I'm already struggling. Now you're going to take the asset I have. Here's my title. I got a little car, $4,000. Here's my title. I got a little car, $2,000. Here's my title. I'm already struggling. The interest rate is sky high. If I don't pay it back in an ample amount of time, you're going to take the one asset I got. Now they robbed you again. They pencil whipped you. And people wonder why I'm doing this blitz all week. People wonder why Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to get your finances in order. But tonight I want to get your mind in order because this week I'm not going to have a lot of time to talk mindset. Now, last thing before we go. Because I've been robbed by overpaying my taxes. They didn't teach me how to open up a business, so I'm not lowering my taxes. So I think the W-2 is the best way to go. And I'm not knocking the job. It's okay. But it's just mentality. Because I got all these loans and our children are now behind, instead of giving your kids a head start in life, now they behind in life because they're coming out with the ball and chain called student loan debt and can't find a job that pays enough to pay the debt off in an ample amount of time, so they rob us again. Then, because of our credit situation, because of the loans and because of the credit cards and because of the automobiles, and then you flash all this lifestyle in front of us, we get robbed again. Because there's some dings on our credit, so we pay higher interest rates, they rob us again. Then you want to take the poor people and put Title Max, Title Pawn, all that stuff in neighborhoods, so you got robbed again. Then guess what? Because now I don't have enough money to own a home, so I'm 65, 70 years old, and I'm still renting, when all that equity I could have when I'm 65 or 70 years old could be my own property. I want you guys to write this down, man. My mentor taught me this years ago. You have to have a place in this country that you can call home. You see, I'm not talking about where you live. I'm talking about I own this. You own this. You don't have a mortgage and you don't have rent. That's when you have a place that you can call home. So if all else fails, I can go home. That's my roof. That's my, you know what I'm saying? That's my carpet. That's my this. That's my that. You got to have a place you can call home. But because we've been pen whipped and pencil whipped and pen whipped, guess what happens? You never have a home that you own. Now, I'm not knocking people that rent. Don't misunderstand this. I said this earlier at my leadership meeting tonight. I'm not knocking people that rent. We're talking higher level. We're talking mentality here. All this started back in the industrial age. I think that's why I have pictures like this in my office, because I want to be reminded that capitalism is not a game, and it's time that you start learning it. You got to start learning it. So guess what? Last thing. Because I'm renting and I'm 50, 60, 70 years old, I never had the equity built in something that I own that I can pass to the next generation. So now guess what? Your kids get robbed. Because I could have had a house, 80,000, 90,000, 200,000, 400,000, that I literally, when I pass away, this property, this land, because I own it, it can go to my son. And guess what? Now he has a head start. See? Write that down. Put that in your comments, man. Let's give our children a head start. But since we keep getting pen whipped and pencil whipped, we don't have the $80,000, $90,000, $200,000 transfer to the next generation that stays in the family. Why? Because we get robbed so much, other people get our inheritance. Other people get the wealth that you're supposed to have. I said to myself when my son was born, I have to work smart and give him a head start. I brought him in this world, and I can't shackle a bunch of debt to my man. That's right. I knew he was gonna be a little boy. I can't give a bunch of debt to my man coming out the gates, man. Daddy gotta give you a head start, man. That's just the way this is gonna go. Daddy gotta give you a head start. Put that in the notes, man. Give your children a head start. So, generations are now getting robbed. Here in Atlanta, man, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get out of here. We talking about mindset before the webinar series this week. Here in Atlanta, everybody has this in every city. I don't know where you're watching from, but put that in the comments. So we know where this is reaching. Put the city you're from. We got a commercial that comes on, and I just have to turn my radio off whenever I hear this. Girl, you been in an accident. Mm-hmm. Girl, me too. You know who we can call? We can call attorney, John Williams, and he'll get you a check, girl. John, do. Huh? Been in an accident? Yeah, come on by. We've settled anywhere from $4 million to $2. Why is our community plagued with girl commercials and guy slander and talk, and they're catering to people who they feel like are uneducated, and basically saying, if you're in an accident, call me. But what they don't tell you is so I can get 60% of the check. And then because of the medical bills you're going to have incurred, you got to pay the doctor back. And then I got to send you to a chiropractor because this is what we need if you ever been in an accident to get you some money. So go take care of that. You know what I'm saying? And then I get my return off your check. Even in your pain, they want some money. Let me tell you something. I'm going to end with this. I keep saying that, but I just love what I do for a living. Look, even in your death, people want some money. Even in your death, people want some money. Hey, we got these nice, we can go with this casket, or we can go with that casket. I told all my close friends, look, cremate me. I'm saying you that right now. Don't be looking over my body, looking all sad and all that. Cremate me. We ain't even about to go through all of this. Cremate me. Y'all play my videos, my Brian Beane's favorite moments at my block party, and just put it up on the Jumbotron, and y'all have a ball, man. I'm going to be all right. And if I see you crying, I'm going to come down and say, what did I tell you? No, seriously. Even in your death, people making money. So you got to start posturing yourself in 2019. I'm not getting pen whipped this year. I'm not getting pen whipped. That's what you got to say. So you can budget and you can change your habits, right? Those are good things. You can look at where your money's going. But you can't do all those things and change your cable and change your internet and cut your cell phone bill, and you still losing 30% in taxes and 19% on 3 credit cards. I don't care how much Starbucks you stop drinking. You're not going to feel it. This is the bottom line, man. Capitalism. I got it all around my house. People come to my house, they say it's like a museum. I just got it all around my house. I get reminded every day. I got to learn this game, and I got to keep learning this game. And I'm going to continue to learn this game, and I'm going to continue to teach this game, because people in America don't even know the game's being played. They don't even know the game's being played. So we're not going to get pen robbed this year. And I'm tired of hearing commercials. I think that's what inspired this video. When I cut on the radio and hear them, girl, we getting an accident. You got your check. I got my check. He settled for $4 million. He took $3 million, and you had to pay the doctors $1 million. You got $30,000, and you was the one in pain. You see? Stop. That's in every hood, in every radio station, not every station, but if you got 6 stations, I promise you that's one of them in your car right now. And I ain't lying. I know my people. So what are we gonna do, man? What you gonna do this year? What you gonna do this year? You gonna keep letting people pen whip you? It's all about knowledge. And like I said earlier, we all got access to the same information. That's the beauty about this best of times. You can get on here and take a few minutes and just be like, man, like if nothing else, I hope I just sparked something in you tonight. Because that's what was in me after leaving my meeting tonight. I just hope I sparked something in you tonight. Hey, webinar all week, man. Y'all that don't know, Game Changers coming up. It's approaching rapidly. March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I do an event every 4 months. I look forward to seeing you guys there. I'll give you guys some more information on that on the webinars. But make sure you guys get the webinar sequence, because we're gonna help a lot of people understand through our income shifting concept, through our company, through our mindset, through our tools, for less than $50. $50. $50. We stop all the pen whipping. You're like, man, $50. That's crazy. So we teach people through attitude, leadership, mindset, old habits, traditional thinking. You got to overcome all that stuff. It's 2019. Look, 2020 is next year. Can you imagine that? We're alive, God willing. We're alive, right? To see 2020. And you still got a lot of life left, and it's time to start living it. All right? I'll see you guys in the webinars, How to Increase Your Cashflow.com, Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Get the details on the link. And please share this, man. Get people to wake up and stop getting pan whipped. Peace.